Hello, and this is Kawalamat here with episode 5 of Rule the Waves 2 playing as Japan. To recap, during the last episode, we had a naval arms race with Russia. We built 3 battleships and are currently building 2 battle cruisers. Russia built 3 battleships and are currently building 2 battleships and 5 battle cruisers. So if we have a war now, we'll be on approximately equal terms with them. But if we wait till 1912 or 1913, things might get worse for us. So let's hope for an early war. The first thing we're going to do is bump up spying against the Russians. If the Russians think we're spying, they're more likely that's likely to raise tensions, so they may start a war. Even if they don't start a war, we may get some of their technologies. Another thing I'm going to do is put some of these into mothballs to save a bit of money, and the reason to save money is to build more ships, because ships are one thing you can't have too many of. So that's given us a little bit more money, and we'll play the next move. We've got better 12-inch guns, quality 0, and we're actually using 12-inch guns from the British, which are quality 1, which are even better. And let's look at our research. In terms of naval guns, our 11 and 12-inch guns are good. Our 6-inch guns are very good. 7 or 8 are okay. 3 inches are okay, are good guns, but 3 inches is too small to really do much. So we're going to ignore that. But I am going to build an extra destroyer. So let's play the next move. Yes, we need technology. The British government is offering to sell us rights to armour development. Yes, we need that technology as well. Our money's going down, unfortunately, which is not good. Let's see how we're doing in submarines. We've still got these waiting to be completed. They can be completed very quickly, which is good. But there's no really easy way to save money until these 3 destroyers are built. Ooh, disarmament conference. If we're not limited, that gives us prestige and tension. This means the middle option means that we could have a disarmament agreement, and this one means that we definitely will be one, but that decreases our prestige, so we're definitely not going to do that. Because we want prestige and we want tension. 3 destroyers are commissioned into the Navy. We can now build 900-ton destroyers ourselves, if we choose to. And our next class of destroyers we may build ourselves for the simple reason that we can have 2 torpedo tubes in each mount, whereas the British can only have 1. We need that technology. I'm not currently building any destroyers at the moment because I want to get our funds up a bit. New docks. Better fire control. Let's increase our docks again. Should we send a gunboat, cruiser, or a battleship? We want tension, and we want prestige, and we want budget, so it's going to be a battleship. Superimpose B turret, that means we can have 2 turrets at the front and 2 at the back. Now, what should we send to China? A strong force gives us prestige and tension. A multinational force doesn't. And keeping out of foreign adventures reduces tension. We want to increase tension, so we're going to send a strong force. And it looks like this ship is going to be completed next go. So when that's completed, we'll want to build another battleship. We'll start building one. And their battle cruiser is the same layout as their battleships. It's got a 9-inch belt and 2-inch deck. 9-inch belt is slightly less than ours. It's got 10, 12-inch guns, but there's only 8 in the broadside. And its secondary armament is 4-inch, which is less than ours because we're using 6-inch. Now, the reason that's significant is that 4-inch guns are less good against destroyers than 6-inch guns. It's harder for them to sink a destroyer quickly. This means that our destroyers may be able to get in and attack their battle cruisers, which incidentally are not particularly fast. That's only 26 knots, whereas our ships are 27 and 28, which means that our ships also have the advantage that they can decide whether to fight or not. So I'm quite pleased with that Russian design. Even though it's heavier than many of our ships, it's not a vastly better ship. In many ways, our ship is better. It's faster, it's got a better secondary armament, and it's better armoured. So I'm quite pleased about that. So let's design a new ship. So our new battle cruiser will be very much like the Satsuma, except that we're increasing torpedo defensives to 2, and we're going to call it the Satsuba, because I can't be bothered to think of a better name. And our security arrangement with Britain has expired, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go. They're selling us triple turrets, that's very good. Now, because they're selling us triple turrets, that means they must already have triple turrets. So we may put that in our next warship. Now what we do need is destroyers, so let's build some destroyers. So our new destroyer design, the Kamani, is going to be built at home. It's slower, it's 2 knots slower than the preceding ones, but it does have an extra torpedo tubes, and these are now in dual mounts, which means I can fire a broadside of 6 either side, whereas beforehand I could only fire 4 each side. They've got an extra 3-inch gun as well, so that's quite a nice design. It's a little bit slower, but it's a fairly decent design anyway. We can increase the speed on that, and we can increase the speed to 31 knots, which is excellent. And we'll be putting those into service soon, along with Satsuma. Can we guarantee a victory over Russia if war should come? That gives us prestige and tension. That gives us budget but lowers our prestige. Well, we want prestige and tension. And let's have a look at some Satsumas. We're building a Satsuma. We're now close to getting torpedo protection too. When we've got that, we'll be in a much better position to build our own battleships. Handle it quietly and discreetly, because we don't want a war with Britain yet. And we've got torpedo protection too, that's excellent. So our next battleship will probably be built in Japan. And while we're doing that, we can build a few more destroyers too. So Japan and Russia are now in a state of war. Now, shall we invade Lautang Peninsula or Sakhalin? I think it's going to be Lautang Peninsula. And there'll be a surprise attack. Our forces are a lot bigger than theirs, especially with our 71 destroyers. Mobilise all ships, mobilise all air bases. So looking at this battle, our main job is fairly obvious. All these destroyers are going to move in and torpedo anything that they see, and then the survivors are going to get destroyed by our main force. So let's move all our ships up. First few crates. And we will, now we need to move these ships. We'll move all our other ships in formation so that they can conveniently attack when all the destroyers are. And we seem to have not recorded that bit, but we're recording now, so the heavy cruisers have gone in amongst this lot here, and I'm about to send my battleships in. That's been hit by a torpedo. Okay. This cruiser can have a look at what they've got coming down here. Well, my main force can look at these more. Let's see what he's got over here in more detail. We've got two CAs and a battleship, two battleships which seem to have sunk. That's been heavily damaged. How soon before dawn? 1 hour 50 minutes. These should be, they're core to the Satsuma, which is this one here, I believe. They should be following. Not that they do. That's only a destroyer. It's a dead destroyer now. I'm going to move this destroyer flotilla in to see what's going on over here, and this destroyer flotilla. He's got something going out here. Okay, he's got some ships around here, so I'm going to attack them with my battleships and with my heavy cruisers as well. We'll put the 3 dreadnoughts in as well. And oops, the 3 dreadnoughts. I'm going to go this way because he's got some ships up here somewhere. This destroyer is going to look for his ships up here. And there's some battleships there. Battleship's very hard to see, isn't it? Well, I hope those battleships do go out. When's dawn? 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my fleet south, slowly, and we'll put it on cruise. And I'll do that for, that's 45 minutes. I'll do that for about 10 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes. Now I'm going to go back. And that should be done in 20 minutes, so that should be note 1. See what the setting is on. Flotation damage warning on capital ships. We've got a lot of ships here. They're all very crowded together. I'm a bit worried about attacking them, whether I'll lose some damage from my own. See, Setsu is damaged. He doesn't really want to come out, does he? It'd be quite hard for me to entice him out. Now his battleship is coming out a bit. I think I'm actually going to just leave it now. He doesn't want to fight, and I don't want to risk any more damage to my ships. Ah, what's this? He's got a battleship there. Oh, that was naughty of him, wasn't it? A bit silly as well. Can we cut his battleship off? Yes, we can. We can cut his battleship off from home. Yeah, again, I think it's just going to have to be going. I'll make another turn round and see. His battleship's stationary now, which means that he should be a good target. So let's put this down to cruise, set the thing to and we're going to make another turn on his ship. He doesn't really want to get out and fight, and I don't blame him either. And let's slow down a little. We're going to slow this down to 10 knots. To give all our ships a bit more time to make the fast and we're all going. And so looking at the scorecard, we've sunk 1 battleship and 4 pre-dreadnoughts, 4 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser and 13 destroyers. We only lost 6 destroyers and 1 old heavy cruiser. These armoured cruisers aren't very good ships anyway. They're pretty much obsolescent, but the damage that we've done to his ships is significant, and that's very good for us in the coming campaign. So let's look at the naval situation now. In terms of invasion, we are invading Liao Tang Peninsula, and while we're at it, we can also invade Sakhalin, because if we look at where his ships are, he's still got a significant number of ships there, but most of his ships are miles and miles away, and it will take them several goes to get them round. And while he's taking several goes to get his ships round, we can invade two of his possessions, and we can prevent him with a fait accompli. So, we've got quite a few of these destroyers under construction, and a battleship that finishes in 4 moves, so that's good for us as well. One of our cruisers is damaged. Let's have a look at the damage on our other ships. That one's the Katori is damaged slightly. None of our others are. A few destroyers are. And we're better, while we're at it, we need to put a load of stuff into trade protection. These all go into trade protection. And we need one more. We'll actually put in a bit more than one. And now it's time for our next move. Cruiser action. We've got more forces than them, so yes. And they decline battle. Oh, wonderful, a fleet battle. And they decline that battle as well. This reminds me I need to build all my submarines. We've got 12 operational subs and a sub 1 merchant ship. They've got 17 and have sunk 2. So let's build the submarines. These submarines all need to be building. They will complete very soon. And we'll also put some cruisers as raiders. So that's given us a bit of, we can build docks while we're at it. And let's have a look at what we're building. These will get built soon, which is good because our financial situation isn't wonderful. Cruiser action, accept. And it looks like the Russians have decided they're going to come out and fight. So we've got the Kashima and a load of destroyers. So let's have a look at the Kashima. It's got 6 12-inch guns, lots of 6-inch and 4-inch guns, and it's got, does it have torpedo tubes? Yeah, 4 submerged torpedo tubes, and fairly decent armour. So it's a fairly decent ship. We've sighted something, and this is the opposition. So we're moving straight towards the enemy, and we're going to see what he's got. I will notice that if you look at the strategic situation, we're a lot closer to our ports than he is to any of his. So if our ships are damaged, they may well be able to limp back to port. But his ships will have a lot less ability to do that. He's got 1 light cruiser and 3 destroyers, and this is his main force up here. We'll have to see what that is. Let's put this into line mode. And we want our battle cruiser to be shielded by the destroyers, so let's put them there, and the battle cruiser here. So he's got 1 battle cruiser. This has been hit by the torpedo. Well, that can go back to port. Let's see which port we're going to put it in. I think Capidato is a bit closer. I'm not sure whether it will be able to get back to port, but we'll certainly try. No, it's not going to reach port. It's almost completely flooded. Right. So let's move towards his battle cruiser. What sort of battle cruiser do we know? It's this one. So his has got 6 12-inch guns, same as ours, but it's much less well armoured. So what we need to do is to move in. If we look at our armour, is 11.5 and his is 7.5. So we're currently at a range of 17,000. At that range, we can penetrate his armour, but he can't penetrate ours. And we need to get to a range of about 10,000 before he can penetrate us. How fast is he? 27 knots, and ours is 28. So ours is a little bit faster, which is good because it means we can catch it up. And our destroyers are, of course, faster than his battle cruiser. So our other cruiser is sinking. We don't particularly care about it. We're going to put this under AI control. I don't like those destroyers heading for our battle cruiser. So our battle cruiser will move away. One of our destroyers has been hit. I'm not fast about the destroyer being hit. It's annoying. But it's not a big deal, and his destroyer is now defunct. Actually, these can go straight on. What I want to do is get my destroyers and my battle cruiser on each different sides of his battle cruiser, and I can attack him from both sides at once. Now let's have a look. We've not hit him at all, but he's hit us twice, which is not good. What's the range? The range is 6,900, which is... If he's got decent guns, he'll be able to penetrate us at that range. So I'm going to move a bit away from him. We hit anything yet? No, we've still not hit anything. I don't think we're going to be able to get his battle cruiser. No, we've got about flooding. We've been hit 5 times and we've not hit him at all. I think we're going to break off the engagement. We're going to return to port, but while we're returning to port, we can zap these ships here. And let's see what the results are. We lost a cruiser and destroyer. He lost 2 destroyers. So it's a bit of an inconclusive battle, but it's a clear victory for him. And I'm just going to have a look at the ship details, because I want to have a look at his battle cruiser. 7.5-inch belt armour, good guns, 6 hits he scored. He's got central firing, same as us. 8 hits with his 6-inch guns. No hits with his 3-inch guns. But yeah, it's a fairly decent ship, and achieved a lot better firing than us. He was hit twice. He has hit us more than we've hit him, so that's not a very good result. We have commissioned 4 submarines. That's good. That'll put some pressure on him. Triple torpedo tube mount. Well, when we get that, which we haven't got quite yet, that will be very useful. We've taken control of the Ottoman Peninsula, and we've sunk 2 ships, and 1 with our raider. He sunk 3, so that's a draw. So we're going to stop there for now. That episode 5, War of Russia, and we will return for the next episode and see how the War of Russia turns out.